succeed.
We're live. I'm going to convene the Town Council meeting of August 19th, 2021. If everyone would please, if you're able to join me, stand up and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then remain standing for a moment of silence for military and public safety personnel, past and present. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, we're going to review the minutes from past meetings, July 8th, 2021. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion to approve.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right. Next, we've got closed session statements. I've got a bunch of things to read here. Closed session statement, closed session announcement regarding Town Council closed session. June 8th, 2021, the Town Council met in closed session on Thursday, June 8th, 2021 at 6:01 p.m. at the Centerville Wharf Building, 101 Waterway, second floor meeting room to discuss personnel in accordance with the Maryland Open Meetings Act. All four members of the Town Council voted to close the session. The authority to close the session is found in Section 3-305 of the General Provisions article. The Town Council discussed the following topics. Personnel, discussed performance of employees. Actions, no actions were taken. The following members and staff are present. Timothy E. McCluskey, President. Stephen K. Klein, Vice President. Jeffrey D. Keel and Shelby C. Anania, members. Sharon Van Emberg, Town Attorney. Steve Walls, Town Manager. And Crystal Ebaugh, Human Resources Manager. The meeting adjourned at 7:52 p.m. Closed session statement regarding Town Council closed session, July 22nd, 2021. The Town Council met in closed session on Thursday, July 22nd, 2021 at 6:00 p.m. at the Centerville Wharf Building, 101 Waterway, second floor meeting room to discuss personnel. In accordance with the Maryland Open Meetings Act, 3 members of the Town Council voted to close the session. The authority to close the session is found in Section 3-305 of the General Provisions article. The Town Council discussed the following topics. Personnel, interviewed candidates for Town Manager position. Actions, no actions were taken. The following members and staff were present. Timothy E. McCluskey, President. Stephen K. Klein, Vice President. Jeffrey D. Keel, Member. Steve Walls, Town Manager, and candidates for the Town Manager position. The meeting adjourned at 7:56 p.m. Town Council announcement regarding Town Council closed session, July 28th, 2021. The Town Council met in closed session on Wednesday, July 28th, 2021 at 5:45 p.m. at the Centerville Wharf Building, 101 Waterway, second floor meeting room to discuss personnel and land acquisition in accordance with the Maryland Open Meetings Act. 4 members of the Town Council voted to close the session. The authority to close the session is found in Section 3-305 of the General Provisions article. The Town Council discussed the following topics. Personnel, interviewed candidates for Town Manager position. Land acquisition, to consider the acquisition of land. Actions, no actions were taken. The following members and staff were present. Timothy E. McCluskey, President. Stephen K. Klein, Vice President. Jeffrey D. Keel and Shelby Anania, members. Steve Walls, Town Manager, and candidates for the Town Manager position. The meeting adjourned at 8:26 p.m. Closed session announcement regarding Town Council closed session, August 5th, 2021. The Town Council met in closed session on Thursday, August 5th, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. at the Centerville Wharf Building, 101 Waterway, second floor meeting room to discuss personnel in accordance with the Maryland Open Meetings Act. 4 members of the Town Council voted to close the session. The authority to close the session is found in Section 3-305 of the General Provisions article. The Town Council discussed the following topics. Personnel, interviewed candidates for the Town Manager position. Actions, by consensus, requested references from one of the applicants and to continue the next phase of the interview process. The following members and staff are present. Timothy E. McCluskey, President. Stephen K. Klein, Vice President. Jeffrey D. Keel and Shelby Anania, members. Steve Walls, Town Manager, and candidates for the Town Manager position. The meeting adjourned at 8:18 p.m. Town Council announcement regarding Town Council closed session, August 19th, 2021. The Town Council met in closed session on Thursday, August 19th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. at the Liberty Building, 107 North Liberty Street, second floor meeting room to discuss personnel in accordance with the Maryland Open Meetings Act. 3 members of the Town Council voted to close the session. The authority to close the session is found in Section 3-305 of the General Provisions article. the town council discussed the following topics: personnel, interview candidates for boards and commissions vacancies, and discuss town manager replacement process update. Actions, no actions were taken. The following members and staff were present: Timothy McCluskey, President; Jeffrey D. Keel and Shelby Anania, members; Steve Walls, Town Manager; applicants for boards and commissions. The meeting adjourned at 7:00 p.m. So much for a light summer, huh? Next, we're going to move into Citizens Forum. Carolyn, can you read the announcement?
Welcome to this meeting of the Centerville Town Council. This is a public meeting and we welcome your participation. By attending, you acknowledge that this session is recorded and aired live on QACTV 7. During the meeting, we ask that you turn your cell phones off and hold personal conversations outside the meeting room. The scheduled agenda is available on the information table just outside. Public comment will be limited to 3 minutes per person. The Town Council respects and appreciates your desire and right to convey your message freely, and in keeping with the dignity of proceedings, we ask that all views be expressed in a respectful and civil manner. Comments longer than 3 minutes should be submitted in writing. If questions are a part of your comments, we'll refer those to the appropriate individual. Thank you.
Any citizens that would like to come forward and be heard? You've got 3 minutes. Please come forward. All right, hearing none, we're going to move on. There will be another opportunity for citizens forum at the end of the meeting. Next, we've got appearances, board and commission appointments. Is there a motion to appoint Nancy Emmerich as an alternate to the Planning Commission? I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to appoint Nancy Emmerich to an alternate role on the Planning Commission. There's a motion and a second. Are there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Why don't we take a break here for a second and we can swear in Nancy Emmerich. Shelley, are you up for that?
Yep.
All right. You can get the oath from Carolyn.
This is one? Yeah. Okay.
I'll leave the pen.
Have to get you to sign this. Okay, so please raise your right hand. Say aye. Pronounce your name in full and repeat after me. I do solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland and support the Constitution and laws thereof, and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment, diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice, execute the office of alternate member of the Centerville Planning Commission, expiring April 21st, 2022. According to the Constitution and laws of the state, the town charter, and laws and ordinances of the town of Centerville. I can just get your signature right there.
Nancy, on behalf of the council, thank you for volunteering and being willing to take on this role. You will be, our town manager will be in touch regarding some of your responsibilities. You're going to get a law book, a code book that's about that thick that you'll be able to bring back and forth with you. And, you know, just a little bit of history about you. You now live in Symphony Village. You moved here from Arizona and from some other places as well, and you've got family that live in the area. If there's anything else you want to share, you're welcome to. Otherwise, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Nancy.
I'm thrilled to be able to help and look forward to learning about it.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we had another interview this evening as well. Is there somebody that wants to make a motion to appoint Robert Davis to a role in the Personnel Review Board?
I make a motion to appoint Robert Davis.
All right, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to appoint Robert Davis to a role of the Personnel Review Board. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Robert is not here this evening, so we will swear him in at another time. There's also, I'm going to make a motion to appoint George Sigler to a role on the Board of Zoning Appeals to complete a term which expires in April 2023.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to appoint George Sigler to a role on the Board of Zoning Appeals. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? George is not here either, so we will be busy at our next meeting swearing them in. Next, we have appearance, QAC Goes Purple, Linda Friday, President, QAC Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Linda, come on up.
Thank you.
Lauren, you
Glad
coming
I'm
up too?
here, so you don't appoint me to something.
Yeah.
So just for the record, I'm Linda Friday, President of the Queen Anne's County Chamber, and it's so good to be here before the Town Council, and thank you for allowing us to come before you. Next to me, I have Warren Wright. I don't know if you all know Warren, but Warren leads our Drug-Free Coalition in Queen Anne's County. He and his wife, Kathy, have done an awesome job just leading that program. We probably have, about 50 to 60 people that attend a meeting every other month just to try to get a handle on some of the addiction issues that we have here in the county. So tonight, we're here to talk about QAC Goes Purple. These are little flags. I want to make sure the sheriff gets one for his car, but anyway. This is our fourth year, and we have done it in the past up on Kent Island at the Volunteer Fire Department. The dream, not that we want to dream about this issue, but we've always wanted to bring it to the town of Centerville because we just feel like this is the center of our community, our county, and we just think that this is the right place to have it. So we've been working on it. We've been working with your staff. We've been working with the county government. We've got a lot of partners out in the community that have helped us bring this to really a successful event. So we are looking to have it on September the 1st, and I have actually have bags for each person, and I'll leave those with your staff. But this is the flyer. It's going to be on September the 1st, and I'm kind of going to do a little marketing just for the public too, because I know your public will be watching. It's going to be in the town square from 7:30 to 9 in the evening on September the 1st. And we are going to, we've got 26 flags, those feathered flags that we're going to be putting throughout the town. And the county is going to be taking care of that. We're also going to have a stage and in the courtyard for our presentation. And then before it ends, we will have a visual for those people that have lost their lives. So we do have banners and stuff like that for the program. We think that we're probably going to have anywhere from 200 to 300 people. So it's good for the town. We are not going to provide food, so we want the people that are in the business community to keep their businesses open to serve refreshments or whatever they want to serve. So we feel like it'll also bring business to the businesses that are here. We are also looking to, we will be closing off Lawyers Row, and we've already talked to the sheriff about that and other people to make that happen. So that will be closed off. We actually have a room that we will have on display where parents can go in, and it'll be like a bedroom set up. It's a mock bedroom for them to go in and see the type of things that could happen, even though we hope that doesn't happen. So that's some of what we're doing. We're going to be lighting up the trees in the town square. The county is going to be taking care of that for us. So the county's kind of jumped on with us, making sure all that happened along with the people that you have on staff. So I want to thank Steve and his staff for all that they've been able to do to help us get to where we are today. So Warren, I don't know if you want to share some statistics with them on
I'm Warren Wright. I'm volunteer for the Drug-Free Coalition. This is our 22nd year. We last so long because we think we make the 50 or 60 partners that we have in the community stay with us for long periods of time. First of all, though, before I answer that, I wanted to thank the chief over there at National Night Out. I ate 3 hot dogs, but everybody was in such a good mood that we got over 100, and they were glad to do it, fill out our marijuana survey, which is one of the things we're doing I want to talk about. So thank you, Chief, for that. Of course, you have to thank Linda and her staff of Tracy, because they know everyone, they're enthusiastic, and they know where to find you to get something. And so we're just blessed to have them take over the marketing part of that for this year. So we know it's going to be successful. And we would like for everybody to be happy and have a good time. We're going to have a lot of freebies for everybody. The purpose, the reason we've been doing this for 22 years is to promote the health and safety of this community by reducing alcohol and other drug use and misuse. Now, once we get all these free things and we get people down there, what do we do with them? Well, we have information about what anybody can do, a parent can do, or anybody can do to help promote awareness of opioid abuse. We just finished, this took 2 years, this is the 2020 opioid data dashboard, and it's just Queen Anne's County information. We can tell you exactly what city and how many overdoses they had. We can tell you, you can look in this and find out how many of them were fentanyl, cocaine and heroin, cocaine, fentanyl, and all of that, alcohol, which, by the way, during the pandemic, there are more people with alcohol issues in our local Whitson Center than there are opioids. There are all kinds of things, and this is hot off the press, and we're getting that published and get that out. It's a handbook of almost everything that anybody would need to know and where to look. Kathy has made 60 different little facts about opioids and heroin and that sort of thing, and we've been here long enough, so we have media, we have the chamber, we have the information officer for the county, Beth, the sheriff, by the way, the sheriff has the largest media presence in the county, so the sheriff does that with us, the health department, the board of education, so we want to get that information out so people can just hear quick facts and not say, here's a sheet of paper, go ahead and read it. That would be nice for you to do. The marijuana study that we're doing now, that's just to find out. We know that coming up will be the legalization of marijuana, yes or no. And we just want to know what the people in Queen Anne's County think. Now in Colorado, where they started that, 3/4 of the people, 66% of the people said no, they didn't want it, so they don't have it. So we just want to know what Queen Anne's people think about it. The other things we're doing during this time will be, we're working with the liquor board. During the pandemic, as you know, they had something called restaurants could deliver alcohol, and they have something called the to-go cup. That was a good idea because it helped our local businesses during that time. But the governor said, instead of dropping it, he said, let's let each county decide. And so that's what we're working on now, because we don't think it's necessary for a 20-ounce martini to be served, and then you just take it and go home. So those are the kinds of things we always do and worry about, and try to do as much as we can for those. And we could not do that without the 50 or so civic agencies that we regularly deal with, and we're recognizing them that night. Each of them will be listed, as well as the people who give us money. And a lot of you know all about the Drug-Free Coalition, but I just wanted to say that any monies that we get, all of it goes to the Midshore Community Foundation, because they have a reputation above reproach. And we state it more simply, the Drug-Free Coalition doesn't buy pizza. We get that donated. We don't spend donated money for anything other than the cause. And so lastly, I want to say, Linda said how enthusiastic you guys have been in helping us with this, and so thank you very much, and I know it's going to be a success, and we know that we're going to come back for National Night Out, because that was a real fun time. I don't know why we weren't there before.
So just a couple more things. So Elaine Studley has been helping us. We are trying to light up the businesses and the residents of Queen Anne's in the town of Centerville. So we have light bulbs and flags at the fire department here, Goodwill. We also have lights and flags available at Shore United Bank and also the library. So for those people that are watching or want to know, you can go to any of those locations and get light bulbs and flags. So and they are free. People that show up at the event will get a bag, a backpack. Actually, these backpacks came in handy during COVID. They used them for the food bank. So we did we were able to support the local food bank with the generosity of our donors that gave us the opportunity to purchase these bags. So we have a bag for each one of you and for your staff. I'm going to leave them, and I hope that you come out. If your town would like to put up a table, which we hope they will, please feel free to we have an application just so we can kind of control who's going to be there, is fill out the application. We'd love to have you partner with us. And again, we want to thank you for your support and all of that you've done to make this successful. We
Great.
hope to have it again here next year.
Yeah, thank you for, everything that you guys are doing, and I also had a couple of hot dogs that evening as well. So, Chief, you're all good with everything that they're going to be looking for. Carolyn, have we spoken to or notified the restaurants that there might be some
No,
overflow?
I just put a note down here to check with Carol to make
Okay.
sure she contacts all the restaurants, so they're aware and ready.
So we've talked to Carol and we've talked to Valerie. So, I mean, we've actually been out
Yep,
in the
I'm sure.
community making sure, but we would appreciate anything that you can do, or if there's other things that we need to do, if you could just let us know. We think we've crossed all the Ts and dotted all the Is, but you never know, especially when you move it, to a different location. So we're hoping this will be a yearly event that we can do here in the town. We are going to be doing something up on Ken Island. The county commissioners are looking to give us a portion of the Cross Island Trail that'll be in purple crepe myrtles and coneflowers and butterfly bushes and all that. So we're hoping to do that on Ken Island, and then we're also looking to do something out in the north end of the county. So we feel like we've got it under control, but we're also looking for volunteers. We always are looking for volunteers.
We wanted to say that, the week before that, we're gonna be sticking those banners all over the place. Commissioner Moran made us promise that he would no longer have to do that himself. I think you helped once. We have, the scouts are helping us with that. So we'll be putting up the banners, but that.
And we
that
have
should
them
be-
helping with the trash too, if there's trash around. So we're trying to think of everything we can possibly, but if you have anything that you can think of that we haven't, please let us know.
Okay. Steve, do we need to do anything about closing the road down, official council action, or is that not something that's
I
necessary?
don't think you need to do anything formally, but if you want to make a motion to do so, you can. We've closed it many times before.
Okay, I think we're good. Okay. You guys have anything else you want to add?
No, just thank you guys so much for all that you're doing.
Thank
You're welcome. Unfortunately, we have to do it, but it's an awareness, and, if there's anybody out there that has, a neighbor or a family member or whatever that has an addiction issue, there will be services provided or information provided at this event, so we would encourage that. But
All right.
anyway.
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Thank you all very much.
Okay, thanks,
Thanks
Lauren.
very much. Have a great
Thank
evening.
you. Thank you.
All right, next we're going to move into a public hearing. Public hearing, Centerville Town Council, Ordinance 09-2021, Accessory Structures, August 19th, 2021. The subject of this hearing is Ordinance 09-2021 for the purpose of amending the town zoning ordinance, codified as Chapter 170 of the Town Code, to relate the maximum allowable size of an accessory structure to the size of the required rear yard, to increase the required minimum rear yard and side yard setbacks for accessory buildings that exceed 12 feet in height, to establish a vegetative buffer requirement for buildings 12 feet and taller, and to add definitions of the several terms in order to administer and enforce the town's zoning ordinance more effectively. I'm going to actually ask our town attorney, who would provide a little bit of background on Ordinance 09-2021.
Sure. As you may recall, you all enacted a moratorium in order to give time for the Planning Commission to study this issue. They've done that. They made a recommendation of an ordinance that came back to you all, and you all simplified it a little bit related to, the different heights and how those setbacks would be for the different heights. And then it went back to the Planning Commission again, and the Planning Commission, the only thing they wanted to change a little bit was, as you can see in their letter, that the chart, instead of having each number, just to simplify how those numbers appear to make it clearer to the public. And we didn't have to get into the situation of, 12 feet, 3 inches and what setback applied for those.
All right, thank you. I will now call upon Carolyn Brinkley, Town Clerk, to present evidence of the published notice of this hearing.
Certificate of Publication, State of Maryland, County of Queen Anne's. This is to certify that the annex legal advertisement has been published in the July 30, 2021 Record Observer.
We will first hear from all those in favor of proposed ordinance 09-2021, and then hear from those opposed. Please keep all comments to 3 minutes. You are welcome to provide written testimony to the town council as well. I'm going to assume that we've got the public comments already, or the public guidelines are all done. If there's anybody who's interested, please come forward. Let the record show that no one came to speak in favor of it, but we did receive a letter from the Planning Commission with their approval of the language. We will now hear from all those opposing proposed ordinance 09-2021. Let the record show there was none. The Centerville Town Council will consider all comments presented this evening before making a final decision regarding proposed ordinance 09-2021. Do I hear a motion to adjourn this hearing?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. I now declare this hearing adjourned. All right, next we've got ordinance 08-2021, conveyance of land, second reading. Sharon, I'm going to ask that you just read the top part of this for the record.
Sure. An ordinance for the purpose of authorizing the conveyance by way of a quitclaim deed of a parcel of property identified as existing 12-foot alley to be converted to 12-foot access and utility easement containing 1,632 square feet, and the acceptance of 324 square foot area to be transferred from MC Ventures to the town of Centerville, which is part of parcel 957 on Queen Anne's County Tax Map 44B, and all matters related thereto.
So we had introduced this a while back. We had requested a plat to show exactly what's going to be conveyed. I do see that this evening. Steve, do you have anything else you want to add? Otherwise, I think we'll consider this tonight. Okay? Is there someone who wants to make a motion to approve ordinance 08-2021?
I make a motion to approve 08-2021.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 08-2021, conveyance of land. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, that's approved. Next, we have ordinance 09-2021, accessory structures, second reading. Sharon, would you just read the top of that as well?
Yep. An ordinance of the Town Council of Centerville to amend the town zoning ordinance codified as Chapter 170 of the Town Code to relate the maximum allowable size of accessory structures to the size of the required rear yard, to increase the required minimum rear and side yard setbacks for accessory buildings that exceed 12 feet in height, to establish a vegetative buffer requirement for buildings 12 feet and taller, and to add definitions of the several terms in order to administer and enforce the town zoning ordinance more effectively.
All right, thank you. This has gone originally from the Planning Commission to the council, back to the Planning Commission, now it's back to the council. This was originally requested and presented by Council Vice President Klein. He's not here tonight, obviously. Do we want to wait and let him just wait for our next meeting in September, first meeting in September to consider it? Perfect. All right, we'll move on. Next, we've got ordinance 10-2021, election provisions, second reading. Sharon, would you read the top of that as well?
Sure. An ordinance for the purpose of providing for election terms not otherwise provided for in the charter for the town of Centerville and all matters related thereto.
So essentially, this is, we've got two seats open for the fall election. Essentially what this does is this provides codification that whoever gets the most votes gets a 3-year term, whoever gets the second most votes gets a 2-year term. All right? So I will accept the motion to approve ordinance 10-2021, election provisions. Is there someone that wants to make that motion?
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Yeah, motion to approve.
Yep.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 10-2021, election provisions. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Next, we've got new business, bid consideration, small shed repair. Is this Kip or Steve?
Good evening.
Hi.
Okay, as you're probably aware and may remember, you approved money in the capital improvement budget for repairs to the small farm shed. Bids were solicited. We had a pre-bid meeting on June 25th, and 3 firms showed up. The bid opening was on July 16th. However, only one of the bidders submitted a bid. It was Harper & Son Incorporated. Their bid was $51,600. Staff is recommending council consider consideration of the bid from Harper and Son. This work will put the new roof and trusses on that building, make it weather tight
Okay.
again.
You confident in their ability to do the job?
Yes.
All right.
Have we ever used them before?
I don't, since I've been here, I haven't worked with them for Centerville. Before I came to Centerville, I did work with them on several other jobs, and they were very good to work with. Of course, that's been over 8 years ago since I've been here, so.
Okay.
But it's still the same company, the same principles.
How soon would they start the work?
It all depends. This job is kind of small for them. They may move in right away and start demolition of the roof that's there. What really seems to be holding construction up all over is the ability to get parts. So that's going to be the deciding factor on how soon they get done, is how soon they can get their materials and stuff. Since we had the bid opening, they've called a couple times. So they're anxious to figure out if they get it, where they can put it in their schedule.
So we don't have a time limit on it?
No, the way that everything is these days, I don't feel comfortable putting a time limit on anything that we bid out if we can help it, just for the fact of that materials are, some of them are so far out as far as delivery times, and even when you do get a delivery time, there's several times that they push the delivery dates back on us. So.
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve Harper and Sons Incorporated to complete small shed repairs as described in the bid at the town water reuse farm, not to exceed $51,600.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve Harper's and Sons to do the small shed repairs. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Purchase request tractor.
Okay, I guess this is me too. So, as you know, we have a New Holland tractor. It gets used several different places. It was mainly bought for the water reuse farm, for maintaining the farm, mowing and that kind of stuff. It's also used in town for mowing some of our larger lots, like off the end of Belvedere behind the cemetery. This tractor, when it was purchased undersized for whatever reason for the equipment that we have. So it's taken its toll on the tractor. In the capital improvement budget, you were kind enough to approve $100,000 for the purchase of a new larger tractor. As you see there, I solicited for bids on it, and I got 3 bids. You'll see the one for the Case IH tractor, which is the lowest bid there, is actually a Sourcewell contract price. So that kind of shows you how much we can save by working with Sourcewell. With that being said, staff recommends purchase of the Case IH F-120C for $73,300.
What's the timing on this one? Are these things built and ready to go?
He told me just the end of last week, October 1st, it should be available.
That's great.
For us.
Okay.
So I do know that one of the other vendors that I talked to has told me it could be as late as spring before they'd be able to get anything to us. So,
What are we doing with the old tractor? Keeping it?
no, the plan is to sell it on govdeals.com. We've had a lot of success getting rid of a lot of surplus equipment, and it seems to bring in the most money for us, and it's easier to use than eBay. So that's the plan for it.
Excellent. I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of a case IHF-120C at a cost of not to exceed $73,300 under the Sourcewell contract number 110719.
A second?
Now we have a motion and a second to approve the tractor. This was in our capital budget. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? All right. We're going to move, let's just move, while we have you sitting here, let's go through the preliminary engineering review.
Sure, that's fine. Okay, all right, we started with this preliminary engineering review for the wastewater treatment plant back in 2017. It's been through several drafts and updates. We're presenting it to you tonight. We're going to give you a couple months to digest it and ask questions and everything and see.
Is that a wastewater pun? Giving us a couple months to digest it?
Yes. Yeah. So anyhow, the plan is that once you get a chance to go all the way through it, I know it's a lot of information. A lot of it can be confusing, and you're welcome to ask any questions that you have on it. We're planning on having the engineer come back in, and they can also speak with you. Part of the reason for submitting this to you now is we also want to send this draft to MDE with a formal notice that our wastewater plant has reached above its 80% mark over the past 3 years average. So what this entails is going through capacity management plan for the wastewater plant, and this PER helps you make a decision what you want to do and how you want to do it. It also lets MDE know that we're serious about the capacity of our plant, and we don't want to overbuild beyond the capacity of the plant. So it's set up in with option A and option B. Option A is to go from the 542,000 gallons a day that is the current capacity of the plant to 750,000 gallons a day. Option B is to go to the 1 million gallons per day. I can tell you there's a $6 million difference between option A and option B. In the scheme of things, you're looking at 22 to 24 million for the plant upgrade to the 750. The $6 million more would only be if you were to build that 1 million gallons right off the bat. It doesn't mean that if you decide to go to 750,000 gallon a day capacity with option A, to go to option B 5, 10, 20 years down the line, it's not going to be $6 million. It's going to be closer to the 15 or $20 million, just for the simple fact that you're only mobilizing the equipment one time, you're only doing the engineering one time, you know, those kind of things. You're also putting everything in place to do it at that one time. So the other thing is that with this upgrade, we'll have to go to enhanced nutrient removal, where we're not at that level with this. This plant was designed for the phase just below that. So, I'm sorry. BNR process. Thank you. So what that means, we'll be able to turn out cleaner effluent. Even though this plant was doing ENR standards, it can't do it consistently. And now that our plant flows are up in the 80%, it just can't reach those standards at 80%. So.
All right. Are you going to take it upon yourselves to determine the date for them to come in, or should we put it on the calendar now?
That's entirely up to you. If you folks give yourself all the time you need to be able to look through it and ask any questions beforehand or anything like that. So, we were,
Up to you if you want.
I mean, I'd like to, if you're talking about a couple of months, it's still the summer, what about the first meeting in December? Have the expert come in and you think that's realistic?
oh yeah, that's,
We were thinking sometime in November, but December fine.
yeah,
All right, why don't we say first meeting in December, you guys okay with that?
okay.
That way Thanksgiving, so we'll, tell us in early October that we gotta get reading in as well.
I will tell you that our engineering firm has worked very well with all of the staff and been very good to work with. So,
All right,
thank you.
All right.
Probably one of the items to point out when you go through and look at all the information is, even though $6 million, it's still a large sum of money. When you look at the comparison that shows what features you actually have to install just to go to 750, those same features are necessary to do the 1 million.
yeah.
So there's only certain extra things above that to go to the 1 million. But it's something to look at.
Okay. All right, thanks, Kip.
Thank you.
Next, we've got purchase request, Centerville Police Department vehicles. Chief?
The police department vehicles, council should have 2 quotes to purchase new vehicles for the town of Centerville, Centerville Police Department under state purchase contract with Hertridge Fleet Services. Purchase of these vehicles does not exceed the $100,000 that was approved by council under the FY22 budget. The first vehicle is a 2021 Ford Explorer Interceptor Utility Hybrid at $44,679. Second is a 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe SSV, which is a 4-wheel drive selective service police vehicle for $37,773, which is the total purchase price of $82,452, which is under the $100,000 that was approved by council. These vehicles, when I spoke with Hertridge, are the anticipated delivery date for these vehicles would be about 20 to 22 weeks.
Wow, okay. And then you gotta get them outfitted, right? Then there's a cost to like put the lights and whatnot on them?
These are actually, we actually requested a bid to include upfitting of that type of equipment. So short of the local equipment that we would need, the laptop computers and radios, these vehicles will be turnkey when they arrive.
Fantastic, okay.
One of them going to be for a new K-9?
I
Or
will
is
not,
this going to be,
no,
okay.
not for,
Do we have any questions and want to make a motion?
No questions? Any questions?
No.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of a 2021 Ford Explorer Police Interceptor Utility Hybrid AWD at a cost of $44,679, and the purchase of a 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe SSV 4-wheel drive selective service police vehicle for a total cost of $82,452.
Second? We have
Second.
a motion and a second to approve these police vehicles as already approved previously in our budget. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Next, police department speed trailer purchase.
council should have before them a quote to purchase a replacement traffic safety speed awareness trailer for the town of Centerville, Centerville Police Department. The purchase of the speed awareness trailer does not exceed the $16,000, which was approved by council under the FY22 budget. The purchase description of the speed trailer is a all-traffic solution speed alert radar message sign. The detailed specifications of the speed trailer are actually included within the memorandum. This company, All Traffic Solutions, is actually local. It's based in Herndon, Virginia. It's the closest company to the state of Maryland that provides this type of specialized service or specialized speed awareness equipment to law enforcement agencies. There's several law enforcement agencies in Maryland that provide speed awareness trailers, including, I believe the Sheriff's Office has 2 that are from All Traffic Solutions. And in fact, the speed awareness trailer formerly purchased by the town of Centerville was also manufactured by All Traffic Solutions. So it's a very reputable company. All Traffic Solutions proximity to Maryland for potential product maintenance and services, flexibility to build out the trailer to suit specific safety needs, and bottom line price make their product ideal for the use for the town of Centerville. The total purchase of the traffic safety speed awareness trailer is $16,000.
And so this one's a little fancier than the one that we had, right? You'll be able to put other messages on there as well?
It's much fancier. In fact, the technology of these types of instruments is pretty phenomenal now. In fact, we could set so if we, for example, if we get a number of calls for speeding vehicles on Liberty Street, we can set the trailer out there. We can program remotely, we can program the sign that says slow down, buckle up, or we could also use that for detour ahead, or road closed, or fireworks this way, parade route. But if we were to get a volume of concerns about speeding vehicles in a certain area, we could actually go in remotely on an app and say, we would tell the unit itself, the trailer itself, to send a notification should vehicles start to travel above a certain speed limit. So not just a great tool for, I think, speed reduction, but also for safety. And it also gives me a great analysis tool to be able to look within the town of Centerville which roadways we are having problems on and kind of direct our enforcement efforts to those areas.
This is great. I'm really in favor of this. I remember when I first got on the council, we had the other one, and it was great to go out there and deploy. It was really clunky in terms of how to figure out how to get the data, so this will be a lot different.
I think it's going to be much smoother than the trailer that we previously had. The technology on this is just phenomenal, and I know Councilman, you're a big analytical guy like I am, and to be able to see time of the day of the week, month of the year, and to, it's a great tool for me as the chief to allocate resources to areas that we're seeing concerns in. And I'll just add that I spoke to the company last week, and they have about a 4 to 6 week delivery.
Great. Okay. So I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of a traffic safety speed awareness trailer from All Traffic Solutions at a cost not to exceed $16,000.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the speed trailer purchase as previously approved in our budget. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Next up, Centerville Police Department donation.
Council should have received a letter from me regarding the donation of a 1988 Humvee vehicle. The Office of the Sheriff for Queen Anne's County has offered to donate a 1988 Humvee four-wheel drive vehicle to the Centerville Police Department. The vehicle was acquired by the Sheriff's Office under the Federal 1033 program. An agreement to transfer the vehicle to the Centerville Police Department would be in order. The vehicle was previously used by the Sheriff's Office as a rescue vehicle during snowstorms, hurricanes, floods, tornado aftermath, or other occasions where a standard police vehicle would be incapable of search, rescue, or recovery efforts. I would recommend that if approved by council that that vehicle be used for the same primary mission. Just briefly about the vehicle, it's a 1988. It is equipped with emergency police lighting and siren, four-wheel drive, and it has a steel rescue cable and winch on the front of the truck, which is ideal for removing heavy objects out of the way that would prohibit us from that we just, quite frankly, couldn't do in an emergency without having Chip come out after hours or something like that. So, it's a great resource for us, again, as a rescue recovery tool. There are active maintenance records. Everything currently on the vehicle will be provided to the Centerville Police Department at no cost. And the annual maintenance cost for this vehicle would consist of typical vehicle services once certain mileage is obtained, which we could probably incur under the current B10 8190 repair and maintenance for vehicle line. I have inspected the vehicle. Other than some wear and tear, some paint spots that are kind of peeling off, and a couple of replacement batteries, the vehicle's turnkey. It ran I was probably out there looking at it for an hour. It's a good diesel engine. It seems to be in really great shape. So it's my hopes that to answer any questions that you have regarding the donation and an opportunity to accept the donation if council approves.
Anybody have any questions?
Nope, I've seen it plenty of times.
All right.
I had one question. What does it cost to put the Centerville Police Department markings on something like this?
Well, I would probably reach out to one of the local sign companies. I'd love to see maybe a wrap of some type on it. I think it's a great, and I mentioned briefly in the memo, and I didn't cover it. I guess I should have. I think it's a great centerpiece during our town events to allow the kids to come and climb in and out of a former Army vehicle. So that's something that I'm certainly looking to research to have it marked up. I don't want to give a price because I'm just not well versed on stickers and things like that yet. But I'd be happy to report back to you with what my findings are.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Are you part of it donated or all of the painting donated?
From the sheriff's office?
No, from the sign.
Oh, right,
Sign company.
right. Yeah, with some free advertising maybe.
I have a motion to approve the donation of the 1988 Humvee vehicle. Anybody want to make that?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right.
My second.
We have a motion and a second to receive a donation of a 1988 Humvee vehicle from the Queen Anne's County Sheriff's Department. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next, we have Carter Farm zoning amendment update discussion. I don't really want to get into much of a discussion on this, but Sharon, do you want to kind of go through briefly what they discussed last night, the planning commission discussed last night?
Sure, and as you probably recall, the developers proposed this text amendment originally to be this agricultural district, a standalone new district. And the planning commission really thought that this was best addressed by modifying the existing PUD provisions and allowing PUDs in a TND district rather than have a standalone district of an agri-hood. So the staff has been working with the developer who's trying to propose this text amendment, going back and forth. I know Krista Kubiak spent a lot of time going back and forth with them. And last night, they presented what they had to the planning commission. I thought it was a good meeting. I thought the planning commission made a lot of progress, and I think that you will, see their work. I think we hope to have for you a draft at your September 2nd meeting. So hopefully then it'll be before you to start your process of considering it, scheduling it for a public hearing, and acting on it.
Yeah, so I mean, the developer essentially presented a text amendment. I mean, it was long, it was 20 pages long, right? They were looking at our T&D ordinance and our PUD ordinance, and the planning commission went through line by line over every single change. I mean, it was a very productive meeting, right? It was a long meeting, but it was a very productive meeting. So instead of being able to have it tonight for review, there's all those changes that need to be made. So Sharon and Krista Kubiak are gonna make those changes, and then we'll have it as a first reading. We'll refer it back to the planning commission in our usual way. We'll have a public hearing.
Looking at maybe having the public hearing the first week of October.
All right. Anything else on that? Next, we'll move to correspondence. I don't have any correspondence. Next, we're going to move to report of boards and commissions. Park Advisory Board. Shelby, you got anything to report?
I do not. We did not meet this month.
Okay. Council of Governments?
Nothing.
All right.
Hopefully a meeting next month.
Economic Development. There is a meeting coming up, I believe, on September 14th. We'll have another meeting by then. Okay. Planning Commission, as Sharon had said, yesterday we met regarding the TND. That was a marathon meeting, one of the longest I've had, but I'm glad that we got through it and didn't have to push it out any further. We did have a meeting also on August 4th, where we discussed the accessory structures, which we had a public hearing on this evening. It's good to see the Planning Commission is moving forward and also talking about the comprehensive plan. And then we obviously just appointed a new member this evening. Next, we got report of department heads. Town manager.
Yes, work with the council on the interviews for the town manager replacement for when I retire. Assisted in preparation of several bids, one of which is Whedon Street rehabilitation. So we're gonna have that one advertised. And I've spent a great deal of time working on some zoning issues. So that's my report.
All right. Anybody have any questions? Nope. Chief?
Within your package, you should find the July 2021 department overview for the Centerville Police Department. I will bring to council's attention on the under your Exhibit B, calls for service 3-year comparison. Call type 57, which is on the second page, indicates that we investigated a robbery. That was a miscoding in our system, and we were able to make that correction, but not in time to indicate that we had 0 robberies. So that, I just wanted to put that on the record. So, but I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about this information.
I like this. I like that it's really comprehensive, and we were talking about being a data person. I love seeing stats like this, and it's great. Thank you very much for this.
Certainly.
Anybody have any other questions? Anything for the chief?
No questions.
All right, thanks, chief.
Thank you.
Town attorney,
I have nothing.
director of public works.
One real brief thing, and this is to also help the public to understand. As you know, we've been working to replace the lights on Lawyers Row. It's been much more of a long, drawn-out process than we had anticipated, between trouble getting contractors for parts of it and that kind of thing. Just so that you know, the lights were scheduled for delivery in 3 weeks. I got an email this morning that now they've pushed that delivery back to sometime in November. They can't even give us a date in November. So that'll, again, linger on further, so.
Previously reported that the generators were delayed as well. They're supposed to be here in July.
I don't know that I did let you know that we had ordered generators, I believe it was back in March or April. One for the DPW shop and one for the water treatment plant out to Northbrook. They were supposed to be here in July when the order was put in. Now they're pushed back into November also. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Thank you.
it's just a sign of the times.
Anybody have anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Town clerk?
2 things. One, I have received 2 phone calls asking if we're having the Christmas parade this year. So I said I will bring it up tonight at the council meeting and just make sure that the council is okay with the parade going forward. It would be December 3rd,
Yeah.
would be the first Friday in December.
I think we're gonna have a Humvee leading the pack that.
There we go. And so if that's fine, then I'll communicate that to my committee of 2 and 3, and we'll get started on that. And then we have obviously an election coming up in October, so there are 3 candidates, and the Ethics Commission and the Election Board have all certified all 3 candidates, so we are good to go. And yes. And they've all 3 been vetted that they are of the age of 25 and live in Centerville for 2 years and registered to vote in Centerville, so.
All right. Would it be appropriate to announce who they are now that they've already been vetted?
Yeah, I
Maybe might as
can.
well.
So we have Eric B. Johnson Jr. is the one candidate, Ashley Kaiser is another candidate, and Tim McCluskey is the 3rd candidate.
Glad I made it
So,
through. All right.
for his seat.
Thank you.
So,
With that,
You made the cut.
I made the cut.
the 25 age was a little iffy, but we got there.
Anything else for the town clerk? Any questions?
That's all I have.
All right, citizens forum, second opportunity. Any citizens who want to come up, please feel free. You've got 3 minutes. We can answer questions if possible. Come on up.
The only one. Hello, everyone. Cal Gray. from Fairview Farm Lane, but have an office here in town on Banjo Lane for some time. I may have missed, I thought that you guys were voting on, I know it's kind of a foregone deal on the ordinance 082, 2021.
Yeah, we did.
They did.
They did.
Yeah, we voted on that.
Voted on it.
We approved it.
But was I sleeping?
Yeah.
Well, I looked over at you at the time they were voting on it, because I thought maybe you might want to make a comment, but you were reading the paper.
I was reading to it. Well, good. Well, you guys are very efficient and quick tonight. That's great. No, and that's really wasn't the main reason I was here. The main reason I was here is to just discuss something that came up that honestly I think it's new members here now from when this took place some years ago. Before we bought this property at the end of Glendale and Windsor, it's 4 lots. It was kind of a strange deal. Michael Schneck was selling it, and he had some personal things going on. But I called the town for buying it, say, hey, I'm thinking about buying this property. I was like, but I really want to know, I don't want to buy a problem, and there's some certain aspects to this. I said, and I talked with Steve at length several times, and Mike Whitehill several times, and this is over a period of a number of weeks or months. And one of the main things was the seller was asserting that the allocations he put the deposits on, those deposits were good. And I said, well, I don't know, but I'll check it out. And went to Mike Whitehill and to Steve Walls and said, this is a big concern. Over a period of weeks, I said, if not months, the word came back to me going to town like, yes, we will honor those allocation deposits. And I was like, great. And I can show you that in my original contract with them was for $70,000. But they didn't want to sign it, arguing that the allocation should be part of it. And that original contract was with Michael and Melanie Schneck. Then, because of some of their personal problems, it ended up in the hands of Mark Podinsky, an attorney, a court-appointed trustee. Mr. Podinsky was the one who really pushed that these allocations were a valuable asset to us buying the property. And so when I got the word back from the town, yes, they'll be honored, my purchase price went from $70,000 to $85,000. Fine, because there's $11,000 of that were these deposits that were already put down. And Steve called me earlier this summer and said, hey, there was a vote, and they voted not to honor these, that they expired in 2014. I was a little upset. I said, Steve, well, that's just not fair. I asked about this specifically before buying the property. He's like, well, if there was any, it's unforeseen. I was like, I get anything unforeseen, but apparently these expired in 2014. And so these conversations all took place in 2018. So in my opinion, it wasn't unforeseen. And I did my bargaining based on what I was told. And I understand that a lot of this stuff gets lost in the sauce, and that the council probably didn't know, realized it later. I'm just asking you, yeah, you can do it because they are expired. Legally, you can do it, but I don't feel that it's right to do that to us. And I'm just going to put 2 other mitigating factors on it, just sort of to kind of throw myself at you guys. There's times in this town it's tough to do business. Sometimes it's a tough town to make money in. Yesterday I have a tenant who's had a very tough time, originally because of the road construction, and then secondarily because of COVID. They were way behind in their rent, and we ended up, to keep them in business, my father and I agreed to split that with them. This is a real cost to us of $40,000 that we will never see, but it will keep a popular business in town open. A few months prior to that, I had the opportunity to rent a warehouse. I had 2 people that really wanted it. The one guy still wants it. The one guy was going to park a bunch of big trucks in there, does commercial property maintenance and parking lot sweeping and vacuuming, and he wanted it bad, but somebody else wanted it who's an artist. They want to make it like an artist studio, public access artist studio, and possibly the ability to have a little walkway down to Bull and Goat, so people can come, they can walk through, check out the art, the foundry, and go over to Bull and Goat and have a beer. And we went with the artist because we just thought that'll be better for the town in the long run. Hopefully it comes to fruition. They still seem serious about it, and hopefully that move forward. So that's all I wanted to say. Hope you consider, I know it's not a ton of money, but we've been working on this, like I say, this is 2018. I think we finally have the PWA ready to go, and that's been in the works for a number of months. We're hoping we didn't miss an up economy to try and get these things going. We will probably end up not faring as well on these, just because things are due to go down. But we still want to move forward and get it done right. So that's all. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Cal.
Thank you.
Anybody else on Citizens Forum? No? Next, we're going to move to Council Roundtable. Anania?
So I wanted to say a couple things. One regarding the Parks Advisory Board. Their next meeting is September 7th. I am not expecting to be able to attend. As I will either already have my baby boy, or he'll be coming any day now. So if any of you guys want to attend, please do. And the same for the October meeting. And that being said, for September 2nd, I will try to be here if I can, and I'll let you guys know if I can't. 'Cause everything's a little up in the air right now.
All right.
That's all I have to say.
All right. Keel?
I don't have anything.
I'm going to, so what I just want to talk about is, there was a meeting a couple of weeks ago on Whedon Street. It was Steve and Mike Whitehill to talk with the residents down there about the upcoming water and sewer replacements and the paving. And, I attended it as well, and there was a handful of people that live down there, and most of them have lived there for a very long time. And Kip, you were there too. I apologize if I didn't recognize you. It was a nice meeting. Everybody down there was just really, really happy that this was really going to get done. And I mean, it had gone back 40 plus years of just water and wastewater going in places that it shouldn't be going. And so this is one of those things, like, this is going to get done, and people are really going to be happy, and they've been waiting a long time for it. So glad to see that it's going to get done. I don't have anything else, so I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right, we have a motion.
Motion. Second.
We got a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
We'll be more in sync another time.